Palmer, and you're watching Extended Play.
Coming up on Extended Play, we come to you from the biggest gaming show on Earth, the Electronic Entertainment Expo in Los Angeles. We'll give you the news from the show floor, show you the latest in the Final Fantasy series, and show you how to be a benevolent god in black and white. Stick around, it's game time.
Hello and welcome to Extended Play from the floor of E3 in Los Angeles. I'm Kate Patello.
And I'm Adam Fessler, and this is turning out to be quite a show. We're looking at the first playable Xbox games at a show. We'll also have PlayStation 2 titles to show that the console really has gained its confidence. And I think the big talk of the show, though, is GameCube, with some absolutely beautiful games that just went on display.
Now, of course, Nintendo, Microsoft, Sega, Sony, these are all huge and established brand names, but everybody had to start somewhere. So we went to the last GDC and visited the Independent Games Festival and signed talent there. They were going to play, show off their wares, and hopefully find a publisher. Video games are big business. With $10.5 billion in revenue last year, the game biz is looking to blow out the film industry in total sales. Not everyone making games is riding this tidal wave of cash, however. In order for a game to have much hope of financial success, it needs to have a publisher promote it and put it on retail shelves. If you're a developer without a publisher, well then, you're an independent.
It's a multiplayer, real-time strategy game, so it's not like a lot of different games that collectively put together.
It's a multiplayer online tactical strategy combat action game.
It takes a lot of perseverance in order to formulate a game idea into a working title.
The funding's tough to get. We actually decided to go without any funding at all.
I used most of my evenings for a year and a half developing this.
Chase Ace 2 is a multiplayer 2D shooter that was developed by an independent Danish company with the unusual name Space-Time Foam.
Well, it started as a test, and then it just kind of grew by itself. There's not many money in it in the beginning, and it's difficult to keep the spirits up when you don't see any results of all your hard effort. We hope to find a publisher, basically, and to make it as big as possible.
I think the importance of the independent game developer in our community, I think they are the heart and soul of this industry. We published Wolfenstein, the Wolfenstein series, we published Doom, we published the early versions of Quake. What we ultimately look for in game developers is the passion to make this game, the vision and the passion to make this game.
I had this vision about a game in my head, but wasn't sure, what it was, but I felt like something I wanted to do. So I called Dave and I said, hey man, let's make a game. He said, okay. The next day we went to the coffee shop and just pounded out the idea.
The real-time strategy title Iron Squad from indie developer Gigantic Games had very humble beginnings.
Well, we started in my kitchen, right? And that lasted about 2 years.
Yeah, this guy's lived on my couch for so long. I was really glad when we got in office. We don't have other people in the industry to say, you're doing the thing this right. We're just kind of winging it, but obviously we're doing something right. We're here.
One of the key roles of the independent game developers is to make sure the market feels the vitality of what can be done, right? They'll be more aggressive. They'll take more risks, right? They're not quote-unquote corporate yet. And they'll do something that someone says that's impossible because they say, no, it isn't. I know I can make that happen.
That's the spirit that allowed Ethermoon Entertainment to develop Stripe Shadow.
We founded the company about 2 years ago. I basically quit my job to go down this path.
Martin had an idea for a new multiplayer game and searched through the StarCraft community to find creative people who shared his vision.
We got 6 people on the team. I'm in Philadelphia. We got one guy out here who lives in California, 2 in Pittsburgh, 1 a student up in Boston, and then the 6th is in England. We actually run this entirely as a virtual corporation. Here at the IGF in San Jose is the first time a lot of the team members are meeting. We do almost all our work online, email, chat. You got to have the stamina, the focus to make it all the way through. It's a long journey. If it was easy, everyone would do it.
Adventurous indie developers are making headway with new ideas for PC games. We're seeing next-gen consoles become technically closer to PCs, so new opportunities are opening up.
I can supposedly, with the right setup and configuration, emulate an Xbox on my PC. That means that, I can sit there as an independent
my budget for this game was $55. I'm a PhD student. I work full time. This is Friday nights for me, but I can still dream about developing for the Xbox.
With independent developers able to infiltrate the console market, the landscape of gaming could be revolutionized forever.
We know what indie movies did for Hollywood, so it should be very interesting to see what indie games are going to do for the mainstream game publishers. Now, since we're at E3, there's been a lot of news. The biggest story, of course, is that the GameCube games finally were shown, and they look good. If you want to see the entire Nintendo press conference, you can see that and game footage at extendedplay.com. But that's not all that's happening here at E3. Here's more news. Unlike the calendar year, which runs January to December, the gaming year runs May to May, kicked off by E3, the biggest gaming conference in America. And like any enormous trade show, E3 makes good with plenty of news and surprises. This year is no different. Nintendo was the star with the highly anticipated GameCube. The launch date is set for November 5th, with the retail price still pending. The GameCube titles making a splash are Luigi's Mansion, Pikmin, and Star Fox Adventures Dinosaur Planet. Microsoft is also making an impressive showing. They've announced the release date of the Xbox as November 8th. The retail price will be $299. Playable demos of long-awaited games such as Halo and Munch's Odyssey are giving gamers a chance to get their hands on the Xbox controllers. And like every E3, the show floor dazzles with titles people can't stop talking about until their release date. For more highlights from the show floor, go to extendedplay.com.
Coming up on Extended Play, El Settler rules over his very own island in our review of Tropico.
I'm Dale Hart Jr., and you're watching Extended Play on TechTV.
Welcome back to Extended Play on the floor of E3.
Well, here we are at the Xbox booth. It's interesting, Microsoft didn't really have any new big surprises about the Xbox to tell here at E3, though the games still do look quite good.
Well, the one title that's been getting some good attention is Obi-Wan.
Yes, now that's a more serious-minded Star Wars game, although there's been a recent release that is more big-headed about the story.
Right, it's Super Bombad Racing. Okay, so it's not Mario Kart 64. Doesn't mean it isn't fun. Super deformity abounds in the Star Wars universe with Super Bombad Racing. This latest offering from LucasArts puts the cast of The Phantom Menace in a hectic Grand Prix free-for-all. It is also the first kart racer to be released on the PS2. Bye-bye! While Bombad Racing doesn't play as solidly as Mario Kart, the gameplay mechanics are dramatic enough to make the game interesting. Your racers aren't planted on the ground, so you'll have to adjust to a rather floaty physics engine. Each character has their own unique attributes, so be sure to try out all of them. Fortunately, the racers are not so radically different that the gameplay gets knocked off balance. And no kart racer would be complete without power-ups. In the case of Bombad, you have gadgets. These include frontal and rear attacks, force fields, and boosts. Every circuit features different settings from the Phantom Menace, plus each track has its own share of shortcuts, if you can find them. If you've grown up on Mario Kart, you might be too jaded to get hooked on Super Bombad Racing, but there is no doubt that this game is a lot better than the cookie-cutter kart racers of late. That's why we give Star Wars Super Bombad Racing a 3 out of 5.
Now, some of you may wonder what a Bombad is. It's making a sharp turn in the game by pressing both the gas and the brake at the same time. It's that or Jar Jar's word for cool. Now, speaking of cool, there's nothing I dream of more than being a dictator on a small tropical island. Now, it could be just me, but if you have had such fantasies of power, you can experience them in Tropico.
Anyone who plays computer games knows that in the end, it's all about power.
Congratulations on your recent rise to power, Presidente. And might I add, you're looking especially powerful today.
But with Pop Top's Tropico, you get the added bonus of a lush Caribbean setting. At its heart, Tropico is a builder, where you, as El Presidente, must lead your people, or if you please, just yourself, into prosperity by creating a functioning island economy. Growing corn and pineapples will only get you so far. Your people need churches, markets, jobs, education, and you, of course, need a little extra cash on the side.
Presidente, I am glad to see that you are putting something away for yourself in Switzerland.
With careful planning, you'll have a budding banana republic on your hands. Comparisons to SimCity are obvious, but Tropico adds a refreshing dose of personality to the mix. For starters, you get to tailor your dictator by making him charismatic or a financial genius. But you have to temper this by giving him some flaws, like kleptomania or flatulence. Okay, so it's not exactly dripping with realism. Or is it? These character traits help shape how the people of Tropico react to your governing. And here lies the beauty of Tropico, the people. Zoom all the way in on the map, and you can see your nicely animated populace going about their lives. And better yet, you can click on any one of them and learn everything about them. Their name, where they work, where they live, even what they're thinking. And if you're not being as attentive to their needs, some young upstart might decide to run against you in the next election. Fortunately, El Presidente has his loyal armed guards to deal with such unpleasantness.
Rest in peace, muchacho.
Pop Top could have gone further down this road and simulated some of the darker elements, like town brothels and the drug trade, but the tongue-in-cheek attitude suits Tropico's sunny atmosphere well. And it's this personality and character mixed with simple but deep gameplay that makes Tropico a solid 4 out of 5.
Presidente, the people's hatred for you knows no bounds.
Coming up on Extended Play, we delve into the underwater world of Aquanauts and venture to the realm of Gaia in our extended preview of Final Fantasy X.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Lita from the World Wrestling Federation, and you're watching Extended Play.
Welcome back to Extended Play from the floor of E3 in Los Angeles.
Now, here in the Sony booth, there really aren't many surprises this year because the PS2 is already out. But what we are seeing are titles that are far more robust than at last year's show.
Well, let me think of one. Final Fantasy X?
Yes, I think that might be one.
Yeah, there you go. Now, we got a sneak peek of that at the Tokyo Game Show, but it was really cool when we had a one-on-one with Square. So, sit back now, relax, but don't blink, because you don't want to miss a moment of the beautiful Final Fantasy X. If you're looking for a synonym for hotly anticipated, you can't do much better than Final Fantasy X. The series is back in all its glory and then some. Tetsuya Nomura strikes again with heart-stopping and crush-inducing character designs. In a new twist, we can get to know the players better by hearing them speak. Hi! Meet Titus, plucky hero and handsome devil. Now, meet Yuna. She's a summoner of Shin warrior spirits. Just take a look at the summons. Each summoning is breathtaking. Summoned Shin stay in the fight and stick around for a while to help. With the random battles you'll be facing, you'll need all the help you can get. Final Fantasy's journey in 3D allows you to take exploratory journeys of your own. With real-time rendered backgrounds, you'll want to. Everything is sigh-inducing feast for the eyes. You can sigh over the Japanese version of Final Fantasy X in July, or pine away until it hits American shores in early 2002.
If you want to learn more about the plot and gameplay mechanics of Final Fantasy X, you can find it at the Extended Play website, where you'll also find a history of the whole series. Now, our next game deals with crisis situations. The world is blown up. Everyone has to live underwater. And it doesn't even end there.
Aquanauts is the new submarine game being developed by Fish Tank Interactive, and thanks to improved PC speed and graphics, the underwater world has never looked so crisp and, well, watery. The game takes place in the future, after a nuclear war has forced all the survivors to settle underwater. A major landslide opens a series of caverns and frees the ancient gods that have been imprisoned there. Thus, the conflict begins. Players assume the role of a mercenary subpilot who battles human and monster enemies in his quest to save human civilization. Claiming over 40 different battlecraft, 30 non-linear missions, and crazy underwater dog fish fights, Aquanauts is shaping up to be quite the adventure. The game will also feature both cooperative and deathmatch multiplayer modes. If you're getting tired of battling on land or in the air, watch out for Aquanauts, due out in the fall.
Now, if you're thinking that looks pretty, it's probably because Aquanauts is one of the first games being designed specifically with NVIDIA's GeForce 3 video card in mind. Now, we're here at EA's booth, and they'll be bringing you Harry Potter soon enough. But in the meantime, EA Sports Big has got something for you. If your idea of a game of hoops is a couple of quick pickup games of horse in your local park, you might be ready for NBA Street. Looking for a cool sports game to take your mind off the summer heat? Well, you can stop looking because NBA Street is coming out for the PS2. Emerging out of EA Sports' big label, NBA Street is a rough and rowdy 3-on-3 street ball game taken to the extreme. Games are played to 21 points, and there's an accelerated shot clock that'll keep things fast and furious. Goaltending will be legal, so knowing how to shot block is key. Character-wise, you'll get to use NBA stars such as Kobe and Shaq, plus a number of EA big originals.
Right, let's see what you've got then.
NBA Street looks to manhandle the basketball genre by using similar elements that made SSX such a big hit. This includes the use of outrageous tricks and maneuvers. Now, these moves aren't just for show. Doing tricks will fill up your trick meter, which in turn allows you to steal points from your opponent. So now you can look cool and win at the same time. NBA Street is scheduled to ship in summer 2001.
Coming up on Extended Play. Having problems with your newfound deity status? We have a strategy guide that'll stop your cows from kicking your pigs.
Hey, I'm Karen Duffy from Into Networks. You're watching Extended Play.
Welcome back to Extended Play from the floor of E3 in Los Angeles. I'm Kate Patello.
And I'm Adam Sessler. Now, when you have something as big as Pokemon, you're likely going to find a competitor. And in this case, it's also a mon or monster.
Now, this is Digimon, or the digital monster. And these are little creatures that digivolve into very powerful fighters. So let's check out the intro to their new game, Digimon World 2.
Showed off a new game for the GameCube called Peakman, a game they say could be as big as Pokemon. Let's hope Bandai stays away from this one. Now, Black and White is a game where you play a god and you control a cow, an ape, or a tiger, but sometimes it can be a wee bit difficult because no one wrote a manual on how to be a god. So here's the strategy guide for a few tips.
Okay, it's a no-brainer. The Black and White, the PC game, where you play God overlooking the development of humankind, is a bona fide hit.
Thank you. Thank you for your mercy.
What's a little more debatable is how in God's name you're supposed to rule a game that has villagers being sacrificed, gorillas slapped, and cows kicking pigs. The most engaging and strategic aspect of the game for many people is creature management. With a little influence, the creature will do your bidding in helping rule the villagers and your world. The first thing to consider when beginning to raise your pet is which path you want him to take, good or evil. Just like yourself, your pet will form his own code of ethics, mostly by watching you and by what behaviors you reward or punish. Bad creature. Very bad. Do not eat the villagers. Since you have limited direct control over your creature, you should take full advantage of the leashes to help control its behavior. The leash of learning will speed up the rate at which your creature learns from watching you. Your creature will not only notice what you do, but how you do it, and even who or what you do it to. For example, if you want to train your creature to throw rocks at the enemy temple, show him and he'll catch on. Hopefully. There are over 16 different pets to choose from, ranging from apes to tigers and cows. Oh my! Picking one that's right for your style is important. The ape in single-player games is a good choice because it learns at the fastest rate of all the starting creatures. However, in multiplayer games, the tortoise seems to be the clear favorite, with its aptitude at managing villagers, plus its lightning-quick combat moves. You can choose to play the game focusing more on the needs of the villagers than your creature, and still be successful. This is because you can accomplish all you want with your direct intervention and with the skillful use of miracles. The only way to get prayer power needed to cast miracles is through villagers. Of course, what's the fun of being a supreme being without a ton of devoted followers? A good strategy for converting the simple-minded humans is striking the town with lightning. Make them suffer. Then create the miracle of rain to put out the flames. The townsfolk will think you are the best thing since sliced bread. These strategies are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the staggering levels of complexity and depth in black and white. Just like your creature, you'll learn a heck of a lot just by trying new things out for yourself. And just like your creature, you'll probably learn the hard way.
If you missed anything in that strategy guide, don't worry. You can find it at extendedplay.com along with our Ultimate Fighting Championship strategy guide.
Yes, which seems very fitting for some reason, I don't know. Remember, you can also see the entire Nintendo press conference plus footage of the GameCube, the first game footage available at extendedplay.com.
Now don't forget, next week is our all E3 show. Everything we get our hands on, we're bringing it to you.
But that does it for this show. So until next time,
Game over.